Welcome to LBM Talks Social Media. I'm Sally Lacey, the social media manager for LBM Journal, and every other week I have conversations with lumber dealers from around the country about how they're using social media to grow their business. I hope you stick around, because it's time to get social. Hi, Kayla Fearing. Welcome to LBM Talks Social Media.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, Sally.
Yeah, it's so nice to meet you. You are a fellow Minnesota resident, correct?
I am, yes. Born and raised.
Nice. Yeah, me too. Where were you born?
Actually in the cities.
Okay.
I was born at the Southdale Hospital in Edina, but then my parents moved up to Alexandria, where I currently live, when I was just 2 years old. So I've been here since I was 2. Absolutely love it, but technically was born down in the cities. So,
oh my gosh, I love that. I have a wedding actually next month in Alexandria, and I think that will be the first time I've been in Alexandria as an adult. So, be excited to check it out.
I love it. Love the area. Love the lakes. It's just beautiful. Not today.
Yeah,
it's been storming all day, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, same here. Pretty much. Well, I'm really happy that you're here. It's really great to meet you. And I just thought that we could start out with you introducing yourself, give us kind of your background, and also tell us a little bit about Hilltop Lumber.
Yeah, sounds great. So again, my name's Kayla Fearing. I'm the director of marketing here at Hilltop Lumber. We are a family-owned lumberyard building supply store in Minnesota. We started in 1988 and have grown. We have now 4 locations and a little over 100 team members currently.
So how long have you been the director of marketing there?
5 years I've been with Hilltop. So it's been very exciting. It was a new position when I was hired on. So it was great to kind of like build up the marketing essentially from the ground up. And it's been fun to learn as I go. I have been in marketing. I went to school for marketing, so I absolutely love it. And it's just been fun learning new things now at Hilltop.
Was Hilltop your first experience in the lumber and building material industry as well?
It was. My dad owns a business in Alexandria that does owner's representative services. So he is in the construction industry and has been his whole life, just in construction management, things like that. So I kind of grew up with the construction industry, just knowing a little bit through him. But yes, this is my first position in that industry. Prior to this, I was actually in radio sales for a little bit. And then before that, I worked for our local chamber of commerce doing their marketing. So yeah, it's been great.
Awesome. And is it just you on the marketing team?
It is just me.
Nice.
Yes. I know. Sometimes I feel like I could clone myself or have 10 clones of myself and still be busy, but I absolutely love it.
Yeah, totally. So when you say, you know, you've been there for 5 years and it was the first time that they really had a designated marketing presence, what have been some of the things that you've built up in those 5 years? And also tell us kind of how social media has fit into that.
Sure. So prior to me starting, they had someone that was doing freelance marketing for Hilltop. So they did a lot of radio, TV ads, a lot of traditional marketing. They had a Facebook page when I started, but there was, it was just kind of minimal things being posted here and there. So that has been a lot of fun, just being able to grow that and, find different new things that I can be posting, seeing what's working and what's not. And then, overall growing all of our media that we've been doing, all of our traditional advertising. Like I said, we've been doing events now that I've been planning. So, I feel like looking back in the last 5 years, there's been so much that we've done, which is incredible. And I just can't wait to see what the future holds. And then the second part of your question with social media, obviously it's huge just in connecting with our customers, with the contractors, with the communities that we're in. It really gives that personal touch, I feel like, to Hilltop Lumber. So it's not just this lumber yard that you drive by and see. You're actually getting to know the people that are there and recognize the faces. It's one thing I feel like to tell people what you do, but to actually show them through video and through photos, that makes, a huge impact, I feel like, on our customers or anybody that's seeing our content.
Totally. That personal touch that you mentioned, I think is really the essence of it all. And it kind of seems like with the emergence of social media, like that has kind of been the way that business and marketing has kind of moved, is more towards this transparency, authenticity, and social media is such a great way to like showcase your business like that and connect, exactly like you said.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it just makes it more human. You know what I mean? It's people are seeing who's kind of behind the curtain, or I guess however you want to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what platforms is Hilltop Lumber on, and what is the kind of content that you guys create and put out there?
So we are on Facebook and Instagram. We do a little bit of LinkedIn, not as much. That's a little more occasional. But Facebook for us has been huge. I feel like a lot of our target audience is kind of the older generations, because they are the ones that are building the new houses and their retirement homes or cabins or doing the remodels, things like that. So that I feel like is our main one. And then Instagram has been growing for us, which has been a lot of fun. As far as content, we do a lot of posting of, jobs that we've done and photos of kitchens that we've done, or any remodels, new houses, stuff like that. That always is a hit, especially if we have before pictures. People love seeing before and after project photos, because that kind of gives them a glimpse of like, okay, then what could I do with my house, and how could I make it fit to what I want to do? And it's just kind of cool to see that side of it. And then we do a lot of like posting different community involvement things that we're a part of. Honestly, those I feel like get the biggest hits and the most likes, because it's showing that we're out there in the community. Anything that we're a part of, if we're in a parade or anything like that, anytime really that we post with photos of our team members, it always does better than any other content. People love the house pictures and kitchen remodels and stuff, like I said, but if you show the team members, that always seems to perform the best, which is cool.
That's such a common experience, I think. And it just, it's social platforms, it's relationships and making connections. That is really interesting about kind of the before and after pictures. So when people are kind of seeing those, when you're sharing projects that you guys have supplied products for, are they kind of also interested in like who the contractor was and just like who is kind of doing these projects?
Sometimes, yeah, I have seen like after I'll post pictures, we'll get like a DM saying like, oh, I love that. What color, what stain color was that? Or what was this? Or who built it? And things like that. So I try to take those into consideration too when I'm doing posting. And you got to be careful because, with pictures, it's hard because there's editing and different lighting is the colors are going to change. So you got to be a little careful with that aspect. But yeah, we get questions like that all the time. And I know our sales guys, of course, get questions. They'll have people come in that are looking to build, but have no idea either where to start or don't know who to work with. And we have a list here of reputable contractors in our area that we can recommend and get people started on that too. So, yeah.
I have seen Facebook be such a beneficial, popular platform in this industry. And it makes so much sense with Facebook being kind of like a community platform. You have Facebook groups, you have Facebook Marketplace. It is sort of like localized in some sense. And so, I'm glad that is really working out for you guys. And are you guys are you also, I've been noticing Taylor. Is video kind of a new strategy also that you guys are getting into?
Yes, absolutely. And that's another post that always performs well, are those videos that she's been doing. It's incredible having somebody that's actually comfortable being in front of the camera, because not everybody is. And it's sometimes like pulling teeth to get some people to do that. But Taylor's been amazing. And I feel like it's one thing whether she's doing like a video to introduce a new product. It's one thing if I were to post saying, hey, look, we got this new product, but for her to actually be standing there talking about it, showing you,
Mm-hmm.
that I just feel like has a bigger impact. So yes, it's been incredible, and I do hope to and plan to do many more videos. Hopefully get some new faces in there too. Taylor's been awesome, so we'll keep her for sure in those videos, but
Mm-hmm.
kind of introducing some of the other sales guys too would be awesome. So that definitely is in my plan for the future.
Yeah, what is that experience kind of like trying to get people in content? I experience the same thing. It's very difficult kind of knowing that people are resistant and, still asking and kind of putting yourself out there. What do you think is kind of behind the reluctance to be featured in social media content?
I think there's a couple of things. First off, our guys are extremely busy. So trying to even catch them
Okay.
and have them give me the time to do the videos is difficult, which it's awesome that they're busy. So you can't really complain about that aspect. But of course, not everybody's comfortable being in front of the camera. I think the videos that Taylor has been doing have been helpful, because then I can show the guys and say, like, look, this is what Taylor's done. It's a 20-second video or whatever it is. It's very easy to do. And I'll offer
Mhm.
to write the script if they really want. And I just tell them, it's a lot easier. And once you do a couple, it would get easier for them too. But at the end of the day, I understand some people just don't want to be in front of the camera. And then also just maybe not seeing how big of an impact it truly can have. So going back to having Taylor do these, I feel like that's been great to then show the guys. Like, it's a lot easier than me just
Mhm.
pitching the idea to them with nothing to show for it,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like I've even kind of seen people in the social media sphere, talk about like incentivizing. Wow, I hope you can't hear the rain outside because it is pouring. But it
I
like
can't hear it. You're good.
okay, kind of incentivizing being in social media content. Like there have been posts that I've seen of this one guy that I actually had on this podcast talking about social media content, saying like at your company, hey, whoever has the most LinkedIn impressions, LinkedIn just being kind of a example, at the end of the month gets a monetary reward or something else. And yeah, I think that's kind of a cool idea, because like these are so important. Kind of that personal connection that you can make with your audience, exactly like you're talking about, as simple as pulling out your camera and like just kind of talking to the audience can just be so powerful. And so
Yeah.
it's a struggle to try to
Yeah.
reduce that hesitation that comes up, and you are
Yeah.
not alone in that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like too, it's funny because I always encourage the guys to do it. And then I say, like, I'm just taking it on my phone. Like, I'm not going to take out my fancy camera and set it up on a
Mm-hmm.
stand and do all this extra work. I'm just going to film you on my phone. So it really isn't that
Yeah.
intimidating. It's
Yeah.
just, I feel like the first video they got to get out of the way. And then hopefully from there, they'd be more comfortable in doing more of them.
Yeah. And it's also hard, like if people themselves are not on social media and don't have
Yes.
that kind of understanding of how it is actually social. And it's like, no, you're actually talking to our customers or, potential customers, and kind of viewing it like that, because it can feel kind of weird. But yeah, good luck on the video content. It's been great
Thank you.
so far. It's like all of a sudden, when I was kind of emailing you, I told you this, but I just was on the feed and I'm like, oh wow, this is new. Like I this whole like Taylor with Hilltop Lumber thing kind of became like a little bit of a motto, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's Taylor with Hilltop Lumber.
Yes.
And
Which I love that
that's
too.
so cool.
And, like, I talk about wanting to get other guys in it, but it's also really cool to have a recognizable face that people are
Yes.
going to see the video and think like, oh, that's Taylor. Or they go into our Otter Tail store and they see her and you're like, that's Taylor. I know you from the videos. So it's been awesome to have her do those. Yeah.
Exactly. That's awesome. Kind of circling back just a little bit, because I was actually just on a call recently with another gal who runs social medias for their one location lumberyard, and Facebook was also huge. And I'm just kind of trying to get an understanding of like, who the audience on Facebook is. Like, is it your, when it's your customers, that's mainly contractors and homeowners, right? And is it like, what's like out of those two, is it mainly homeowners that you're connecting with on Facebook, or is it a little bit of both?
Honestly, it's a little bit of both, especially on Facebook. On Instagram, I feel like we tend to see more homeowners. But on Facebook, we see a lot of contractors or other businesses, the local tourism and chambers I see liking our posts and commenting. And then it's family members of our team members, which is awesome too. And I think that's why a lot of our posts that have our team members' photos in it perform better, because it's a lot of the family members too that see them and it's liking them and sharing them, which is amazing, because then that's getting out to more people too. So yeah, I feel like it's a mix of a lot of different types of customers and contractors.
I personally feel like social media is still relatively new. I mean, especially in marketing and stuff. And sometimes it's hard for me to even wrap my mind around like how social media is so impactful when it comes to marketing, because, traditional, it's like the goal is to get it in front of people that are going to take a specific action and like really directing it towards that. But we've kind of learned that with the internet and social media, like you have to have so many touch points with a person before anything happens. And it's just, it's cool. It's interesting. It's thought provoking to hear just like how it's just a really big sphere of, people that might not even be customers, interacting with your content, but then that shares to different people. And it's just really, really big.
It is.
And it's hard to measure, it's just a really big sphere, and you don't really know exactly what's happening, but you're just on there because it's where the people are.
You just have to be. Yeah. I always say that too. And it's constantly changing and developing, and every day there's something new. I feel like that's changing about social media. So it's a lot. Like sometimes I say it's like a monster, because it's just constantly growing, and you have to always be on it and learning more. And you do what you can, because like I said, it's just me with the marketing. So I do as much as I can to stay on top of it. But it's also, it's a lot. It's a full-time deal, if you want to stay up to date with everything that's changing.
Yeah, it's really, really big. So exactly like what you said, you just kind of do what you can and try to continue to learn more.
Yes.
So you kind of mentioned like some of your content on Facebook. It's the ones that do really well are people focused. You kind of mentioned pictures of your guys's projects and stuff like that. Are those kind of also the same things that you are sharing to Instagram? And do they perform differently on Instagram? How do you mentioned demographics being kind of a difference between those two platforms for you guys. Do you notice anything anything else that's different kind of between those two platforms that you're on, or is it just that?
Yeah, Instagram, it's definitely more just like the pictures and the videos that Taylor's been doing. I've done a few reels, and those have always performed well. But yeah, it's definitely the video, I think, is what's performing the best. And then customer wise, it's different, because it's when I'm seeing it on Facebook, it's a lot of family members. And then I see on Instagram, it's like the children of some of our contractors or some of our team members that are looking at them and sharing them, and different contractors, like I said, and customers. So I feel like it is a different kind of crowd that we're marketing towards on Instagram, but it is more, that's kind of how Instagram was meant to be too, is more the picture and video, less about like the salesy pitch of like, we have this deal going on. And I do still try to post some of that stuff when it happens, just, even if it's to like our story or something like that, because I don't want to just like overwhelm people with salesy stuff on Instagram, because I don't think that that's what people are scrolling Instagram to see. I think they're scrolling because they want to get their mind off things, and they want to see cool pictures or cool videos and things like that. So I try to keep that in mind. So not everything that I post to Facebook will go to Instagram. Like I said, mostly just the pretty pictures of projects and pictures of our team members and stuff like that.
Nice. And you kind of mentioned you're on LinkedIn a little bit. Tell me about that. How has your journey on LinkedIn been, and where do you see it going?
So we just started a LinkedIn page in the
Okay.
last couple months. So that is brand new. So like I said, it's very occasional. We do a blog on our website. So I have been taking some of the blog posts that we've done and posting them to LinkedIn because I do feel like LinkedIn is obviously very different from Facebook and Instagram. It's more the professional space. So it's not
Hmm.
like always posting just pictures. That's not what people I feel like are on LinkedIn for. So I feel like
Hmm.
the blog posts have been great. We recently did one of like how to choose the right contractor. And so I did a little write up and then posted the link to the blog on our website. And, things like that,
Nice.
I feel like is more fitting for LinkedIn versus pictures and videos. I feel like it's more about growing, I don't know, like our base of the blog posts and more informational, I guess I would say. And then also like for recruitment, we've used LinkedIn a little bit for that too, just because that's where people are on the professional side. So it's kind of where we're headed with LinkedIn. Like I said, it's brand new, so it's kind of occasional posting right now, but I hope to grow that in the future as well.
Totally. Do you have any interest from your salespeople about being on LinkedIn at all and making connections there, or has there been no talk about that?
There hasn't really been any talk about it yet, again, because it's new, but I do feel like that's something that's very important for our sales guys to be doing. And it is on my list of things to go through is making sure that they actually all have LinkedIn profiles. And that they're starting to post constantly or consistently on that. And even if it's sharing some of the Hilltop posts or just doing some updates on different projects. I mean, it's very important for them to be on there. That's where a lot of the contractors are going to be, and homeowners that are in the professional space too are on LinkedIn and seeing those posts. So I think it's very
Sure.
important and something that yes, in the future we'll have the guys look at and make sure that they have their profiles up to date and that they're
Yeah.
posting,
Yeah.
occasionally at least on those.
Yeah. It gets even bigger there. Like when you have some of these platforms that do like support also individual more sales profiles, because then it's like it's their individual profiles, but maybe you're kind of saying like, hey, did you know that you could do this? And that makes it
Mhm.
even bigger because then you're not just thinking about the company. You're like, again, it's just kind of pointing to how large social media is and how kind of spread out your job can be sometimes
Yeah,
managing that.
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So where do you see Hilltop Lumber going in the future, Kayla, in terms of social media? Like what would be a vision that you would have for your company page, individuals, whatever? Like what would be the ideal kind of goal for that?
I think video is the biggest thing. Like I said, I'd love to get more of our team members in videos. Even doing some behind the scenes looks out at project sites, have the sales guys take me with them when they're going out to project
Mm,
sites and just taking some video footage out there and, more before and after photos or videos, even that we can do. I feel like that's just going to help us grow. We're in the growing stages for social media. We're in a smaller location even too. So I feel like there's so much that we can do and that I want to do in the future. I think video is going to be the biggest thing for us. And I see that. I'm sure you
totally.
hear it all the time too. It's trending with everybody is that video, I feel like is the way that things are moving.
It totally is. But it sounds like you have some really great ideas on how to make content for video. That's
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah. It's just getting out and doing it and having the sales guys be in the videos.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing those. That would be great. And
Yeah.
like, what a great way to collaborate with potential like contractors too, if they're
Yes.
on those platforms. Hmm.
Yes, absolutely. And I do see there are a few contractors that, of course, I follow through Hilltop's page that I see posting, and it would be awesome to start collaborating with them and, help each other
Totally.
grow our pages. So that's something, in the future that would be awesome to do too.
Well, okay, my last question for you and an opportunity to just say anything else that you want about your thoughts on social media management is kind of just an advice question for maybe someone else who's in a similar position to you or like another kind of small LBM dealer who's maybe like a little bit tighter on resources, like what would be some advice you would give on how to really kind of optimize your social media platforms? Because they are so accessible, right? Like they don't cost a lot of money, but yeah, what would be some advice that you would have, if any?
I would say first and foremost, just have fun with it. Don't overthink it, because I think people, especially if they aren't on it personally, they just get stressed out and they think, well, I can't do it. That's too much work. We're just going to leave it be and not post anything. And I feel like that's the worst thing they can do. I mean, it's a lot easier and less complicated than people think. And you really don't have to edit or overproduce your content. Obviously, professional videos and things like that are amazing and they're great for branding. But people want to see just those quick videos or photos that you take on your phone and post that day. I mean, it's as simple as out at a job site, just snap a quick picture and post it saying like, here's what we're up to today. And I think that's just my biggest advice is have fun with it. Don't overthink it. Social media is more about connection and not perfection. And that's people just want you to be real with them and just show the human side of your business. So don't overthink it and have fun with it.
That is amazing advice. I absolutely love that. Just the idea of like pulling out your camera, taking a quick video, no edits. I mean, that's really how it is now. I mean, especially if you think about TikTok, which is one of the biggest social media platforms out there. Like people just pull out their phone, take a video of the most random / relevant thing. And that's just kind of the way that it is. So that is just fantastic advice. And it's more about connection than it is perfection.
A lot of those videos, like you said, it's just people aren't even editing them. They just quickly take it and just hit post. And those are the ones that are going viral, and it's the people that are just doing the most simple things that you would think, well, this isn't gonna, this is dumb. No one's gonna want to watch that. And it's people just need a good laugh. So even if it's something like that, just post it and don't spend too much time overthinking it or editing. Just, get it out there.
Yes, we can overthink so much. But like if you have a thought that says this might be interesting to post, just kind of roll with that, because we can kind of get caught and be like, is it really, is it worth it? And so that is fantastic advice, Kayla. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, and the last thing I'll say too is if you're looking for ideas or like looking for what to post or what you think people are going to want to see, talk to your sales guys and say like, what questions are you getting from homeowners, or talk to your friends, your family, like what are you curious about in the building industry? And, use that, because that's who you're really touching on social media, are those people that may not know a lot about what you do, but are seeing your posts. So talk to everybody that's getting the questions or having interactions with customers, because they're going to know what people want to see,
100%. And then let the creativity go.
Yes.
And just do it.
Yep.
Well, it was so nice to meet you. That is all the questions I have for you today, but it was really nice to meet you. You guys can all go look up Hilltop Lumber and see what Kayla and Taylor and everybody else is up to on Facebook and Instagram. And I just really appreciate you joining us and sharing all of your wisdom with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me and reaching out. I was honored to do this. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.